At that point of time when I was 20, I was probably at the lowest of lows. Thankfully, there were some people who stuck with me till today. When you're forced to rely on yourself, that's when your strengths come out. I do want to wait till you're 50 or 60 to live the best life that you can. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Rhoda if you're new here, and I make videos on personal development, community, and the world and our responsibility in it. And today we'll be talking about my personal journey through my 20s. If you've already seen the title of the video, you'll know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm talking about my glow up in my 20s from when I was 20 to the age that I'm currently now, which is 28, almost 29. What I want to focus on in this video are certain mindsets, certain attitudes, certain habits that I've incorporated in my life that have completely changed my life from when I was 20. Just to give you some context, when I was 20 years old, I was at probably what I would call rock bottom. I was not in a good space mentally. I was not in a good space just generally, entirely. I was all over the place. I remember once I sat at Marine Drive and I was looking out into the ocean, and I thought to myself that I do not ever want to feel this way again. From there, the only place I could go was up, and that is what happened. The first thing that completely changed between 20-year-old Rhoda and 28-year-old Rhoda is the way I handled my emotions. 20-year-old Rhoda was an emotional mess. My emotions were all over the place. People who knew me then will know that I was very sensitive. I still am sensitive, but I was just all over the place. I was up and down, up and down. I was either really, really happy or really, really sad. And one of the things that I personally had to build into my life over the course of these years was to ensure that I can control my emotions, I can contain my emotions, I can process my emotions but react appropriately to the situation. And that has helped me massively. Now I can feel something, I can then think why I am exactly feeling that way, and then I can appropriately react to the situation. Not letting external circumstances dictate my own emotions was a big change that I made in my life. It didn't come easy, it came through practice, but I had to intentionally do it because I noticed that anytime I let external circumstances affect my emotions would get away from me and I couldn't control them. Now, one of the things I constantly tell myself and others is control what you can control and leave the rest. And I can control my emotions. Anytime I feel as if I am letting my emotions get a hold of me, I take a step back, I put myself in a calmer position, I take a walk, I remove myself from a particular situation. And that's what I did a lot of in the beginning. I had to physically move myself out of a situation in order to calm myself down. But over time, as you practice emotional intelligence, it becomes very easy. Like, I can be in the middle of a storm right now and be like, I won't let it affect me. But that was not the case when I was 20. And because of that, a lot of my friendships, a lot of my relationships with people, a lot of my productivity, my health, everything was affected, because when you can't control your emotions, you just are kind of going through life fighting battles constantly. I remember I probably messed up a lot of friendships during that time, and thankfully there were some people who stuck with me till today. And if you're watching this, thank you for putting up with me, but you didn't have to, and I shouldn't have put you in that position. And I think that is something that I learned through the years. It's not always been an upward learning curve, but I have moved forward to a point where right now I am in control of my emotions, or at least I can sense when I am losing control, and I can correct myself. And that's very important, because emotions are a part of life, and how do you direct them is what is emotional intelligence. The second thing that comes to mind is that I have actually changed the way I view things in this world, whether situations or people, and I hold everything very loosely in my hand. I'm not tight-fisted about things. I hold them very loosely. If they come in, fine. If they flow out, fine. And I think that has saved me in so many ways, because life in itself is not static. It constantly changes. People come in, people leave, people are born, people die. Situations are favorable to you, situations are not favorable to you, and just being able to hold things, people, or circumstances very loosely has been life changing, because I'm okay if something good happens, I'm okay if something bad happens. I don't attach myself to things as seriously as I did previously. Whether it's people, I know there are phases in life. At some point of time, you're going to be closer to someone. At some point of time, you might not connect with them. And people come and people go. And I'm okay with that now. Circumstances change. I always think in my mind that things are given and things are also taken away. So I don't attach myself to anything, like even this room, though it's beautiful and I'm privileged to be living in it. If you take it away tomorrow, I'll be fine. Yes, I'll be sad, but I'm not attached to things. And especially like things, I'm not attached to things like anything. Anything is temporary, is what I think, and I just go with the flow. And I think that helped me a lot when my brother passed away, because though I was very attached to him, I also knew that you are born without a choice, you die without a choice. The timing is up to God. And I think that helped me and helped carry me through that circumstance as well. So holding things loosely, not being very tight-fisted with things, is a good mindset to have, and that definitely also plays into keeping your emotions in check, because you are more at peace wherever you are. I always like that image of myself in my mind, like wherever I am, whether the seas are stormy, whether the seas are quiet and calm, I'll be fine wherever you put me. And I think resisting or not resisting is also something that I learned, because constantly wanting things to go a certain way was something that caused me a lot of pain when I was 20. But then when I realized that things are not in my control and they can't always be in my control, there are only certain things that I can control, I think I stopped resisting. And that saved me a lot of energy, because when you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, it takes a lot of energy out of you and doesn't give you any byproduct, especially when you're pushing against like a strong wall that's not going to move. So you need to know what to fight for, what battles to leave, and that's why I say control what you can control and leave the rest. The other thing that has massively changed from who I was when I was 20 to who I am today is I'm more confident in my identity. And when I was 20, I had like the worst self-esteem. In that year, my self-esteem was probably at the lowest it has ever been. And it was really strange to be in that kind of place, because my parents and my friends and everybody around me were so loving and so encouraging as I grew up. But at that point of time when I was 20, I was probably at the lowest of lows. I had so much confusion about who I was, whether I was worthy, whether I was enough, whether I had anything to give to this world and contribute to this world. And today I am thankfully in a better place where I know who I am, and I know that there are still parts of me that I am finding out, but I am conscious, I am sure that I have a purpose to my existence and I have a reason why I'm alive and I have something to give to this world. And that didn't come very naturally to me. I had to consciously build up my self-esteem over the years, and I had to put myself in positions where I was really not the most confident. I had to speak in public, I had to meet new people, I had to push myself out of the comfort zone, out of my comfort zone. And doing that kind of pushed me out there and made me realize what I can offer. When you're forced to rely on yourself, that's when your strengths come out, and that's what happened with me. I also realized over these years that my differences, which previously I was probably ashamed of or I wanted to hide, were actually my strengths and my superpower. And that realization really gave me the confidence to do all that I do today. And it doesn't mean that I don't have fear, it doesn't mean that I don't have low self esteem days, but those days are fewer and far between. One of the ways I became more sure of myself and more confident in my identity was by being more self aware. And I think that is one big thing that all of us can do, to observe ourselves, to reflect, to think, and just get to know ourselves more. And it is, I think, in my 20s when I came to know that I was an introvert, that I'm an Enneagram 4. I was able to kind of dig into myself and to figure myself out. I was able to know why I feel certain things, why I'm more emotional about certain things, why my heart breaks for certain things, why I'm passionate about certain things. All of these things happened in my 20s when I was able to think a lot more about who I am and who I want to be. And that came from a lot of reading, a lot of watching videos, a lot of listening to podcasts, a lot of listening to people who I admired, and actually applying what they said into my life. And I was no longer resistant to criticism, I was no longer resistant to feedback. I was open to hear. Obviously, sometimes it took time for me to accept somebody's feedback, but because I was observing myself, because I was taking that time to reflect, because I was reading so many different things, I was able to reach a place where I was like, yes, what that person said about me is actually true, and how do I change that? So, self awareness is something that really, really, really changed how I viewed myself and how I see myself in this world as a part of this community, as a part of this tribe of humans. The last thing that completely changed from when I was 20 to who I am now is understanding that I will probably never know my purpose in the whole sense of the word. When I was 20, I remember constantly wondering, what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? And I never quite got the answer. Today, I have a clearer picture, but I also know that it's not the full picture. But what helped me reach the stage of understanding that I will never know my full purpose at any given point of time is the fact that I just thought that whatever is in front of me, I'm going to do it with all my heart. And I just kept doing that. And in the beginning, it was more of a survival mechanism. Whatever was in front of me, I did my best in that. I gave it all my heart, whether it was my career, whether it was any creative outlet, just anything that was in front of me. I just did it with all my heart. And then the next thing came along. And then I did that. And then the next thing came along. And then I did that. And even if I see my career over the past 6 years, or 7 years now, 7 years, I think, each year has been so different, and each year has been a new learning, a new, sometimes completely different department I've worked in, type of work, people I worked with, everything has changed. But through it all, one thing I just kept doing was do everything with all my heart. And through that process, I think I realized what I was passionate about. I realized what I'm good at. I realized what I enjoy doing. And even till today, even though I have a slightly clearer picture of what I need to do in this moment at this point of time in history, I still take that mindset with me, and whatever comes my way, I just do it with all my heart. And I think that's the best way to keep moving forward. We tend to spend a lot of time thinking about what can be, what should be, but at the end of the day, you are in the place you are in for a reason, and just do your best wherever you are. We are surrounded, especially on social media, by a lot of people telling you that to be passionate about what you do, you need to leave your job and do something else. I don't necessarily agree with that all the time. Yes, if you know for sure that there is something else you're supposed to be doing in life, by all means follow that. But many of us are in the place we are for a reason, and that probably might be a part of our life's purpose. And so continue doing everything with all your heart, whether it's a job, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a side business, just anything, do with all your heart. And trust me, you will see results, you will see outcome, you will see purpose in that, because you're giving your entire being to something. And definitely there will be fruit. So these are the things that have impacted me as a person, have changed my entire life from when I was 20 at rock bottom to who I am now today. I hope that you were able to pick out bits and pieces that are relevant to your own life. Wisdom can come from so many places, and we will do well to take those bits of wisdom, take those lessons, take those learnings, take those experiences of others, and apply it to our own lives in order to have a better life faster, is what I would say. Why do you want to wait till you're 50 or 60 to live the best life that you can? So if you stayed on till now, thank you for the time that you took to watch this video. If you like the content of this video, please click on the like button down there, please. And also click on subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because many of you who watch my videos are actually not subscribed to my channel. So please do subscribe so that I know that you're watching. And also, just to end this video, if you learned something from this video that you wish to apply into your life, comment down below, because sometimes putting it out there is the first step that you can take to actually practicing it in your life. Hopefully your life will be better because of this video.